Hello, everyone. I'm Tammy Bruce, along with Joey Jones, Nicole Sapphire, and Raymond Arroyo. And welcome to the Big Weekend Show, the big story tonight. Well, this holiday weekend is supposed to be one for the record books. AAA is predicting more than 50 million people will hit the road, surpassing even pre-pandemic records. Congratulations, everyone. But some nasty weather is causing headaches and delays and controversies. The CEO of United Airlines did not want to deal with delays like everyone else, so he's spraying for a private jet instead. On Friday, he apologized to travelers stuck across the country, saying, quote, taking a private jet was the wrong decision because it was insensitive to our customers who were waiting to get home. I sincerely apologize to our customers and our team members who have been working around the clock for several days. I promise to better demonstrate my respect for the dedication of our team members and the loyalty of our customers. So many different things come up. Joey Jones, is this something that should even be an issue? What's your take?
Yeah, I think the devil are in the details. We were talking, I wasn't sure exactly where he was headed. Apparently he was headed to Denver to their hub. If he's going to work, what else could he do other than kick someone else off a flight? So if he were going to, maybe fly one of the other airlines that had flights going out, I don't know, that's probably going to get some dirty looks too. I think it really comes back to why were people upset to begin with? Why did United have so much problems to begin with? This whole thing highlights two things that have really resonated with me. One, it hits that nerve of helplessness. I'm somewhere I don't want to be, and I have no way to get where I want to be. I'm stuck at this airport.
Great point.
But then the counter to that is that shows how spoiled we are when things go right. That no matter where we are kind of on the socioeconomic ladder, we can afford a plane ticket. It might be with a cheaper airline, and we can move ourselves through the air in a big aluminum tube, and we kind of have a pretty awesome country and a lot of economic opportunity here.
Yeah, we do, and that is it. Now, Raymond, you, like many others this weekend and perhaps coming up, have experienced a little bit of what this is like. And it is about, we do expect things, but not, I think, improperly, because this is the greatest country in the world. And why does it feel like it's maybe 1930?
Well, look, when the best airline you can travel is Greyhound, you're in trouble, okay? And we're practically there. I was 4 hours held up in Miami the other day. And it wasn't just the delay. You get on board, they pull you out, and you sit because of weather. And this is all related to the FAA staffing shortage. We don't have enough air traffic controllers. And so when weather intrudes, they have to reroute your plane. Well, that takes time. Then they have to communicate with the other crew to make sure everybody gets their paperwork. It is such a bureaucratic nightmare, but the FAA has failed us here. And the United CEO mentioned and threw it off on the FAA and said they're understaffed, and then we get backed up and we don't have the staff to step in and fill these gaps. It's a chain of events, but sadly, the one who pays is the traveler. And at these prices, it's the least they can do is to get us to the destination.
And especially, Nicole, after, look, we've had 3 years of not being able to just go get on a plane, go to where you want, not wear a mask, not have to worry about what they require with where it is you are going to land. You're seeing family maybe for the first time in years because it's our birthday month, which is great. And yet, yes, the FAA was having problems. They've seen for years. Our Mayor Pete, the head of the Department of Transportation, isn't this something that they should have at least been prepared for or anticipated prior to the weekend itself?
Well, I mean, this weekend is no different from many other holiday weekends that we've dealt with now the last couple of years. And Raymond's touched on it. The United CEO said something as well. There are FAA staffing shortages, but it's much more than that. It's a culmination of things. Yes, there was weather. There's FAA staffing shortages. You also have outdated FAA equipment. There's like 30 years old, and it's not even scheduled to be upgraded for another 6 years or so. That's what caused that major nationwide ground stop that we saw earlier this year. And then on top of that, let's not remember, $82 billion was given to the airline industry from COVID relief.
Great point.
And that was to keep people employed, to not have any layoffs. But what did the airlines do? They took that money and they still incentivized their pilots and other staff to retire early. And so they also had staffing shortages, and we're also dealing with that as well. So I do applaud. President Biden has put together an FAA task force as of last year. And they're supposed to have some solutions by 2024. war.
Oy.
Meanwhile, I wish we'd see the same urgency, like giving $75 billion to Ukraine, $600 billion to student loans, which is not happening, or $80 billion to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're not using the same urgency for the FAA situation as they are some of the other things, and Americans deserve safe and defendable travel.
Yeah, you know, Joey, we know of the money, and look, so much information and news has passed by us, but a lot of people have forgotten that we bailed out the airlines because you couldn't, that was a sector that couldn't fail, right? We didn't want it to fail. And you would think, though, they would have the time to think, well, let's replace some of these parts that need to be replaced. Let's upgrade things. You know, you in the military know you've got to have a structure. You've got to have a plan. People have their jobs to do. You can't just wing it. What could be done differently, especially for the United CEO? And what he has to get to where he's going, would there have been a better way to do it? What should the airlines actually be doing when they've got the money and the time? It seems like everybody is winging it these days.
Well, I think there's a little bit of a trade gap. Pilots retired. There aren't enough pilots coming in to take their position. It takes time to earn your wings. It takes time to learn to fly something that big through the air and do it safely. Safety, I do not ever complain if a flight is grounded because maintenance needed to be done on the plane. Right. I consider that a blessing. I'm really happy we live in a place where we can predict those things. But when we look at what's happening with airlines specifically, Delta had a big luggage problem. They didn't have enough people to sort luggage back over the holidays. Southwest was grounded because their technology and their own scheduling went awry. United Airlines, from my understanding, they had their own staffing problems, and I think it was due to a union deal that didn't go through with their pilots. Then on top of that, TSA, probably one of the worst managed organizations in the government. And I'm not beating up on TSA, but every single experience at every single airport is different. As a guy who has special treatment, I get screened differently everywhere I go. TSA agents don't know their own. I used to be a bomb tech. I know all the machines they're using. They don't know those machines as well as I do. They don't know them well enough to use them half the time. And so it just compounds. It would be great if there was someone in the government who was maybe in charge of transportation who could identify these problems across the board and say, let's get together, have a summit, and fix them.
Yes, Pete Buttigieg, yes, should be in charge of that. But let's also remember that we haven't had a Senate-appointed FAA head since March 2022.
Well, and the last one they tried.
There's actually no one leading the FAA in a permanent role. It's a problem.
And when you have a guy like Mayor Pete as your transportation czar, near as I can tell, and I read the record when they were considering him for this role, he was mayor of South Bend. His big accomplishment was bringing in Lime bikes that the Notre Dame kids and the people in South Bend would toss in the river. That was his big contribution. How he got this gig, I'll never know, but we're seeing the sad fallout.
Well, good news,
my son, incompetent person in.
My son did start flight school earlier this year. So
there we go.
In a few years, he will help fill that staff shortages.
Maybe in a decade, he'll be running one of these airlines and get it fixed. That's what we're hoping for.
Raymond, I did want to ask you, you know, being stuck in Miami is one thing. At the same time, you know, people do expect these things to work smoothly. Should we stop expecting that? Should people do something else and maybe why not take a train?
Well, you have those options, but I think, look, Tammy, people have limited time. You build vacation in, you plan it in advance. The least the airlines can do is try to get you from point A to point B in time. I was stuck in Atlanta overnight when I was supposed to do an interview in the morning. I had to take a 5 a.m. flight out to make it and literally turn around, do the interview, get back on the plane and leave because of the nature of the time schedule I was under. The airlines have to be better on this or stop charging as much.
We are a modern nation in a modern time, and the least we have lives that are built around that, and this should not be a new normal.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.